Tonight, the former U.S. attorney who recently wrote a scathing review of the Mobile Police Department's use of force is walking back one of his accusations. Kenyen Brown said during this incident at ACCEL Academy last year that not only did a Mobile police officer use excessive force, but also an administrator at ACCEL Academy physically assaulted the girl. As NBC 15's Andrea Ramey reports, Mobile County Sheriff says that was an absurd accusation against an educator that never should have been made.
Last year at ACCEL Academy, cell phone video captured a Mobile police officer slamming a 16-year-old girl to the ground. But there's another school surveillance video the public hasn't seen. And during a news conference last month, former U.S. Attorney Kenyen Brown made this accusation about what he saw in that video.
The 16-year-old juvenile had a verbal altercation with the school administrator, attempted to walk away from him, and she had long braids, and he yanked her hair and turned her body around 180 degrees. And we note that that in itself is a criminal assault, or could be considered criminal assault.
It's absurd for a former federal prosecutor to accuse someone of a crime that never occurred.
ACCEL Academy asked Mobile County Sheriff Paul Birch to look into Brown's accusation. Birch says he watched the video multiple times and had staff members do the same. He says they all came to the same conclusion.
There was never any contact with that student.
Birch says the administrator and student do change the direction they're walking in the video, and the 16-year-old's long braids flipped as she turned. He says the administrator couldn't have pulled the girl's hair because he was holding a radio in one hand and a computer in the other.
You have to watch it several times. At first glance, you may think that happened, but when you really watch it, and if you're going to make those kind of accusations, you should be certain and watch it several times.
In a letter to the city last week, Kenyen Brown walked back the assault assertion, saying he recently reviewed an enhanced version of the video where they could zoom in and slow it down. Brown says he now can't say for certain whether the school administrator did in fact pull the girl's hair or whether the school administrator's hand was merely in close proximity to her head. Today, ACCEL Academy released this statement. It says in part, quote, "The board of directors of ACCEL unanimously concludes the accusations are false and unwaveringly supports all ACCEL staff impacted by these allegations." Mayor Sandy Stimson, who tapped Brown to do the study on the police department, said in a statement, quote, "It is most unfortunate that Mr. Brown's team did not thoroughly review all of the evidence before publicly making the allegation against a longtime professional educator. When brought to our attention, I immediately asked MPD Internal Affairs to review the evidence and asked Mr. Brown to revisit his findings. The evidence reviewed by Internal Affairs supports ACCEL's findings that a crime did not occur." Andrea Ramey, NBC 15 News.
We asked ACCEL to release the video in question, but did not receive a response. To view the full statements from ACCEL Academy and Brown, head to our website, mynbc15.com.